So how did they get you into the Ironman? Was that forced thing?
Skeet has spoke to me about fears of swimming. That's his biggest fear out of all.
Matthew wasn't always, and I have to say this, always the fittest of fittest people.
I hate this test.
Feel the f***ing resistance, Joe!
I can't. The only thing about it is, how am I going to drown?
If he puts his mind to something, he can do anything he wants.
Never been to Austria. Here the sausages are fantastic. The road trip's going to be cracking. Hopefully the event's good as well, but road trip will probably be more fun than anything else. Ryan and Joe have done it. I think in their heads they can probably say, well, I was there last time and I'm here this time, and so I know I've got it in the locker. Whereas for me, I'm like, all new, no idea. It's like little things like what you eat before you do it, leading up to the event, how are you going to react getting off the bike and going into a long run, versus just like getting off the bike now and doing a 10k run after a 20k cycle. Like, it's just so many unknowns to get through, really. Because you've never done it, you just don't know how you're going to react. It's time. Everything's time. You got to do everything in a set time. You got to be in and out of the swim in a time. You got to be doing it all in a time. If you had all the time in the world, I guess many people could do it. I wasn't in a great place the night before. Even Joe and Ryan, I think, were saying that it's nervous and quietest they ever saw me. We went to bed, we were in bed by like 9 o'clock. Those two were there snoring and I'm still up like on my phone going 12, 1 o'clock at night thinking I can't sleep and I need to get up again in 4 hours. It was a hard morning. I don't know, actually it was going through my head. It was literally like, don't drown, this looks horrendous. But it was mostly negative stuff. Like, everyone is really nervous and everyone's just like chatting to you, and it's all a bit of gallows humour, like, how are you doing? You're like, do you think you'll finish the swim? And you're like it's going to take me about 2 hours 19 minutes out of the 20 swim. And if I can get through the swim, I'll be more confident. If you've not swam or you've not done something that makes you feel uncomfortable, you probably don't realise that your heart rate goes up, you feel like the world's compressing around you, that you breathe or you're going to die, and then you've then got to put your head back in and go again, and then once again you're rushing and you're not sure if you're going straight, and then
a bit of panic sets in. If I can just chill out, kind of force myself to stay calm and get through the swim, you know, at least then when I'm on the bike it's a little bit easier because you can scream at yourself, you can call yourself a cunt.
Like some people like diving in, like, you know, Baywatch next to me. And I'm like wading out, trying to get as far as I can on my feet as I could. Yeah, it was horrendous. To be honest, I was probably about 2-3 minutes from putting my arm in the air and saying, "You got to get me out," because it was proper horrendous until I got to that first and second buoy, and I couldn't get my head in, and it was like I couldn't breathe, and my pulse was elevated, my heart rate was all over the shop, and to hold my breath just to put my head in to do a bit of front crawl wasn't happening. So I did breaststroke, but I couldn't do the breaststroke because I couldn't push and glide.
What we're going to do is we're going to keep this short and sweet because I need to go into the briefing because we've got the German briefing immediately afterwards. It's a beautiful lake and it's really nice when you're on a boat and you've got some drinks and the sun is setting. But when you've got lycra and neoprene on, it's a slightly different story. In the swim, the best thing to do is to roll onto your back and pump your fist in and out of the air, and a member of the safety team can come to your assistance. Now remember, you've got 2 hours and 20 minutes to complete your swim. It's a fantastic swim course. It is impossible to get lost.
And some bloke stopped in front of me and he was like, "Which way?" So then I'm stood like treading water next to him for a second and I'm going like, I'm guessing it's that way.
Sight yourselves on the masts of those sailing boats and you will find your way to the Lenne Canal. Enjoy the Lenne Canal. It is 900 meters and it's flowing in the direction you are swimming.
It's an absolute lie. There is no current going up that river. It doesn't make you go faster. It's not easier at all. And it was literally head up, following something, and there was a bloke in front of me, and you know, absolute hero because he was doing breaststroke. So I just thought, look, either it's comfortable, I'm just going to try and now do my special version of breaststroke behind him until I can get my nerves under control. After probably having a bit of a word with myself and getting out like, I don't know, 500 meters, 800 meters, just had a chat and just slowly got into the stroke. And then once I got into the stroke, it was brilliant, loved it.
Then you're done with the swim, you're going to exit the water down the Lenne Canal. There's a final buoy where you turn to your right, you run through this little tunnel, and then you are on a carpeted road all the way into your transition zone.
It was the worst I generally felt it was the worst I've felt in my life doing any sport of any kind, like for nerves and actual physical effect. It was horrendous. But then that's the thing, like you come out on the bike and suddenly you're cocky and arrogant and you're like, I ride this on the weekends, I've got this in the bank.
So today, between 12:30 and 1 p.m, you can go to bike check-in, okay? Get it done nice and early. This is a sold-out race of 3,000 athletes from more than 70 nations. So it's going to be busy, it's going to be crowded. Please arrive with a race-ready, roadworthy bike. Please arrive with your blue bag packed, with your red bag packed. Once you've gone over that little hump and you're dropping down towards Reifnitz and Mariawörth, and then on the way to Velden. And then you're on your way towards Eck am See, past the Lake Farker, St. Nicholas, and then you're going to come back on the little out and back section towards Velden. Then you're going to turn right at the roundabout and you're going to make your way with the beautiful Karawanken Mountains in the background, and you're going to go up the Ruperti Berg, and after Ruperti Berg it's about 30k back to the turnaround.
Coming out I felt completely fresh, no like crampness, no loop. Jogged over transition, wiggled my way out of the wetsuit, and then yeah, I was just like straight on the bike. And The crowd as you go around, like in the bars and the pubs and having barbecues and stuff, like cheering you on, and people have written messages on the road in chalk for other riders. I think I did the first loop in 3 hours. I went proper hammer and tom, thinking I was like the dog's bollocks. Second loop, when you're coming in and you're seeing all the pros. Because they getting out of the water before you get in the water for me. And then you come back and then the pros are like, you're doing your first loop and you see them in front of you like finishing the cycle and you're like, fuck, I've got another loop to go now. But you just meet some really cool people as you go around and you have a laugh with them when you can. The second loop is like more subdued, and because obviously more people have like gone in and the support's died down a little bit, and you know the aid stations are a bit more quieter. I came in off my bike, so I come in, I was like, I don't know what my legs are going to be like, but I know I'm a pretty solid runner. I had a snack quite quick in the transition. Just took off and my legs felt great.
Then you have been full gas for 180 kilometers. You come back to the Sayre Park Hotel, you get off your bike at the dismount line and you push your bike into transition and you're out onto the Hoka Marathon run course. You're going to start the lap and you're going to run through the Europa Park and you go to Kärnten-Klagenfurt for the first time. Then you're going to come back through the Europa Park and you're going to run along the Lane Canal all the way into the city. Then you're going to come back. You're going to Kärnten-Klagenfurt, and then you're going to go back to the city. And my top tip to you, on the run, give yourselves permission now to walk.
It's done in like a half marathon thing, so it's not like 10K loops, it's half marathon loops. It felt great, like my splits were quite quick. I was always obsessed with like cut-off times and not finishing it. And I think one of the things that happened on my second loop, we were on the way back, so I'd done, I don't know, maybe 2/3 of the run and just under that. And I met up with a chap and we were chatting and we were saying, you know, times and stuff. I was like, look, you know, I'm not tracking it that, do you know what we are? He got in the water pretty much the same time as me. And I was like, do you think we're gonna make cut-off? And he was like, mate, you got like 5 hours. And as soon as he said that, honestly, like the mind like snapped. It was like, you got 5 hours to do less than 10 kilometers, mate. You got, you know, the body suddenly, the pain suddenly hit and radiated a little bit more, and then you find it a bit harder to push yourself on the jog because you know you got it in your locker. I come back and I saw Ryan as well. So, you know, that was on the first loop, so I thought, do you know what, I've done all right here. The event itself, like, is probably the best event and best atmosphere I've been at. And, you know, it trumped all my rugby games. It was better than that. It was fantastic. The event itself, incredible. Training and everything leading up to it, yeah, turbo shit. Like,
mentally, I couldn't do it like that. You know this. You know I couldn't. Like, if it's short or even just normal length, I'd be alright, but Ironman, I'd be like...
John, do you reckon in 6 months' time if we got Skeet going now, he could do Ironman?
No.
Yeah, I probably would have pushed myself a little bit more. I think I'd, you know, everyone says this, but there was a lot more in the tank, even for the run. Like,
Matt Skeet from Great Britain. Matt, you are an Ironman.
it's yeah, it's a great feeling to have finished it, but it's just not. It's just a different feeling. You come through and they're like, "Do you want a beer?" You're like, "Not at this point." Met up with Joe and that pretty much after, and you know that's great. You know your mates, that's all done, and it was just like nice to finish it. To be fair, it wasn't as bad. I thought I'd be like crawling over the line, like vomiting and stuff. The road trip going into it, like with Joe and Rye, was fantastic. Like probably one of the best trips you've been on, just like boys trip, you know, traveling down and you know you boys and having a good laugh, and then you go to the event and it's like, for me it was like you had a 5-day road trip with 1 day of suck in the middle, which was the event, and you know once that had done, you're back having a laugh with the lads. You know we're gonna do Hamburg next year. Joe's not too keen, but he's got FOMO, so he's probably going to enter anyway.
I'm in love again. Well, I know that I'm in love again. Well, the little wheels getting a turn. I feel a fire, I'm getting a burn. Yes, I know.
There you go. Go on, Skeet. Get him on the tongue.
You're the wrong guy.